Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the world of Instagram, but more specifically, we're going to be looking at the world of influencers. Now, we're not going to be talking about travel influencers or fashion influencers. We're actually going to be talking about a very niche kind of influencer that seems to thrive on Instagram, and it's the dating advice influencer. Back in the summer, some of you guys might remember that I did a video on dating advice that was given by someone who was a part of a channel called Expert Village, and it was safe to say the advice was terrible.
And I was playful, and I was fun, I was flirty. I might have even touched on the arm here.
But the Expert Village videos were more so centered around how to pick up women specifically in a grocery store, like nowhere else but a grocery store. So I thought that we could look at some more general advice today. Of course, before we start today's video, I did want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is Scentbird. If you've never heard of Scentbird before, they're a monthly subscription service where you can sample from over 600 fragrance brands and choose a new designer fragrance to try every month for just $15. With each fragrance, you get a 30-day supply, which is 120 to 140 sprays. Way more than what you get in a standard trial vial size. And if you want, you can upgrade to receive 2 or 3 products a month. Scentbird also partners with a really great range of different cologne and perfume brands like Versace, Prada, Gucci, or if you're into more indie brands, they also have Glossier and Nest, so you know that you're getting 100% authentic scents every time. They also have skincare, wellness, and makeup products from brands like Glow Recipe, Glam Glow, and Kopari that can also be added to your subscription as well. This month, I ended up receiving You by Glossier, Cashmere Mist by Donna Karan, and Brit Sheer by Burberry. The perfumes themselves come in these cute little compartments, and how it works is you just twist up and spray, and then in terms of seeing the actual perfume, you just pull it out of the compartment, but once you twist it back down, it's completely secure. In terms of choosing the scents, I wanted to go for scents that were a little bit outside of my comfort zone, and while I ended up loving all of them, I definitely say one of the standout ones was Glossier You. It was definitely the most unique scent that I chose because the way that they made the formula, it's supposed to smell different depending on who's wearing it, and I ended up really loving it. I'm actually wearing it right now, and the best way to describe it is it's very fresh and floral, but not in a super overpowering way that's gonna like give you a headache. So if you want to check out Scentbird for yourself, you can use my coupon code, which is CA30 for 30% off, meaning that it'll only cost you $10 for your first time. And if you want to download their iOS or Android app, you can click the link down below in the description box. Thanks again to Scentbird for sponsoring. Now let's get to the video. So the account that we're going to be looking at today is from Matthew Boggs, and he's a self-proclaimed dating and relationship coach, co-founder of the Life Mastery Institute, and the author of Project Everlasting. So the first video is called Why Men Disappear. Have you ever been ghosted? Why do so many guys ghost? I'm breaking it all down for you.
Hey, Matt Boggs here.
Oh my god, I thought that he was wearing hospital scrubs in the video, but it just turns out it's his t-shirt.
And then go completely cold the next. Why a guy can be pursuing you and then the next minute,
I don't know how to do that in a smooth way.
barring that you didn't go completely drama mama on him.
Drama mama? Drama mama. Drama mama sounds like something fun. Drama mama, drama mama.
Or you didn't explode and yell and fight and scream and scratch.
Who is his audience? Wolverine? Guys, this advice only works with trust, okay? I'm trusting that you didn't beat him up and then eat him for dinner, okay? If that's not the case, then maybe this is what's going on.
Why did he just go cold or disappear? Well, there's actually a very good and clear reason for this. There's a reason why men do this.
Because men have one brain cell to share amongst their entire population.
I'm not saying it's a reason you're going to like, but you'll understand it once I explain it. So to understand this principle, you first have to understand what are the main drivers of men. A man's sense of self-worth comes from his sense and his ability to provide happiness for you.
How the hell is this somehow my fault? What the fuck? I think what he's roughly trying to say here is that it's basically every woman's fault. I'm sorry.
Men will be Mr. Romance. He'll be Mr. Chivalry. He'll be Mr. Wine and Dine.
Choose your fighter.
Mr. Romance. Mr. Chivalry. Mr. Wine and Dine. Where's Mr. Reply Guy? I'm sorry, I really can't get over the fact that he's doling out this advice while simultaneously being dressed like an extra from Grey's Anatomy.
The emotional area of your brain is 8 times the size of the emotional area of his brain. He said a woman's ability to understand how she feels is like the Autobahn, an 8-lane superhighway. You get down the road super fast.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is women, big brain, men, I'm not actually sure if that's an accurate fact, but because he's dressed like a doctor, I'm just gonna believe him.
If he comes to this realization of, you know what, I'm just not feeling it with this girl. You know what, I don't really see this being long term, then at that moment, he can vanish.
I'm sorry. Let me get this straight. It took you 3 minutes to tell us the reason he stopped talking to you is because he doesn't like you. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy's been talking about emotional highways, about the female brain, all of this just to say, listen, ladies, if he's not texting you, he doesn't like you. Like, no shit! But it turns out that Matthew doesn't just do more serious videos that give you the hard truth, but he also has a funny side. This video is called 3 Things Men Find Beautiful in a Woman. Hint, each woman possesses each one of these qualities. I'm teaching you how to amplify them.
Have you ever thought, what is it that men find attractive?
No.
Well, this is Matt Boggs, and today we're going to be talking...
The way that he talks kind of reminds me of like a reporter.
I'm not a big fan of those anthropological studies that we've all heard.
Yeah, I've definitely checked out numerous anthropological studies. I always like to, before I go to bed, just wind down by reading an anthropological study, actually.
Know that men are attracted, ladies, when you sway your hips and you walk down the street. You catch our eye and we like you, you know what. Secret number 1 is passion. And so when your man says, hey, babe, you want to go to the beach? And you're like, sure, man, that sounds good. You can see what happens to the passion. You can see what happens to the attractiveness. It just goes down.
I love how he's framing it as if like it's the woman's fault for just being so lukewarm about everything, but there's no attention paid to maybe the guy should be paying a little bit more attention to the things that the girl likes to do that makes her excited and maybe suggest those things instead.
Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything in between, it's not very attractive.
Let your yes be yes and your no be no. And anything in between, just sit the fuck down, you're ugly.
Be playful. You know, when you and I were born...
Me?
We were born with this playful instinct, which is why when someone is able to be present and they're able to unlock that playful spirit, it's just so darn attractive.
If you want a guy to find you attractive, you gotta unlock that inner child in you. Shit on his carpet.
Ooh, you look sexy over there.
I feel like the most cursed situation you could ever find yourself in a grocery store is if you turn the aisle and you found this guy and Alan. Matt also gives some texting advice with 9 sexy texts that will make him want you.
If you have ever been in that situation where your partner says, hey, send me some sexy texts, and you get that oh crap feeling because you don't know what to say, then this video is for you.
This is easy. Just Google a fanfic and steal their shit and send it.
Hardin's hand caresses my cheek as he kisses me, my arm wrap around his back.
Because mama, this is just for you.
I'm not exactly sure how to explain why this makes me uncomfortable.
Hold on. It's getting really cold under these blankets. I'm gonna go put some clothes on.
This sounds like a robot.
I had a naughty dream about you last night, ... Now, this is fantastic because anytime a woman uses the word naughty, it's just so naughty.
Anytime a girl uses the word naughty, it feels naughty.
It's a little bit fun, a little bit goofy.
If you're a little quirky, this will work for you.
I'm still wearing that smile you gave me.
Ew! What? This man is ripping half of these texts from 2012 Tumblr.
But it's highly effective, and the text is this. Drum roll, please. Want to get tacos? Because hey, who doesn't want to get tacos?
Who doesn't love tacos? Come on, guys. Can we get some tacos in the chat, please? Round of applause for tacos, everybody. Now, beyond his sexy text, he also has 10 biggest turn-ons for men, and this thumbnail is one of his more interesting ones, considering you would think that someone who is a dating coach would be able to like get a girl to come in to be in a thumbnail, but instead he chose to just edit a model in it instead.
Now, warning, this video will have some sexual content in it, so if you are under the age of 18, turn off this video right now and leave the room.
Damn it.
I dated a woman once who didn't believe in deodorant. She believed in essential oils, which was fine except for the fact that the essential oils ran out after 10 or 15 minutes.
How do you apply an essential oil to your armpit? Like, how would that work? You just walk into the corner of the bathroom and she's like...
You know, if you're always making love in the bedroom, change it up. Make some love in the living room or follow him into the shower.
Do it on the street, in a hospital, maybe a church.
I went and looked up some sexual positions for you.
No, it's okay. You really didn't have to do that. Seriously, please stop this sentence. Stop talking.
Number 6 is biting.
Bite his head off.
Number 8 is give us a strip tease.
Matthew also goes beyond helping people who are already in relationships, and he also gives us 5 unusual signs your man is into you.
But let me just tell you that the way our brains are wired up actually makes it more likely that your man is going to be awkward. The way our brains are wired up, our brains are like giant apartment complexes.
Here we fucking go again with this brain shit. Is this even going to relate to what he says in 5 minutes?
Every guy who's watching this video has tongue-tied himself because he's like, holy, like she is so beautiful.
You're right. She's just so beautiful.
If he hasn't made a move yet, don't worry. Just means he's into you.
There is a whole ass movie that explains why going into any situation where you think a guy's into you with this kind of mentality is just the absolute worst thing you can do.
Described, sort of revealed his strategy in this. He said that he would measure the success of his date by whether or not he was intriguing and mysterious to the woman.
I'm sorry, but any man who actually says out loud that he's measured the success of his day by how intriguing and mysterious he was to women, like specifically those traits, he's psychotic. I can picture this kind of guy like standing in a line and like a woman kind of like looking back at him, like not to actually look back at him, but maybe she's checking for something else, and in his head he's like, yeah, that's right. I'm being a little bit mysterious right now. She's checking me out because I'm mysterious.
How many times she would try to get information out of him, or how many times she would say, so what are you thinking right now? And if the date wasn't really going that direction, he would be thinking to himself, have I looked into space enough? Have I like stared off into the nothingness?
Is this a joke? This is the exact same mentality that guys who are trying to cosplay as Robert Downey Jr. in real life have. If your date is purposely making time to stare off into nothingness to seem mysterious, run. The next one by far has the most interesting thumbnail. It's called How to Get Your Ex Back, and I guess he just screen grabbed a random part of the video for the thumbnail, but it's a girl who's surfing and it just says, oh wow, she's evolving. Because of course, surfing is an integral part in not only emotional but physical evolution.
Being in love with an ex is one of the hardest experiences we can have.
Before we start the video, I just realized the comments beside are deadass people going, you don't want them back, and one girl went, wait, who wants them back? Not me. Get lost.
So in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 proven strategies for how you can win your ex back.
This sounds like a terrible idea. Oh, we got a little intro now.
The possibility that there actually is someone out there that could be even better for you.
So his first tip is that you should not be in the mindset where you think that they're the only person that you would ever love, and whatever, that's decent advice. But then the next one, he tells us to dissolve our attention cord, which I'm not exactly sure what the hell that is.
Anytime you're thinking and dwelling on your ex is actually picking up those vibes.
He's feeling those vibes with his mind. Like, you're sending out these vibes through your brain and he's receiving them.
And it's feeding your ex with your energy.
Why does the way he's explaining this sound like your ex would be like some boss that like feeds off of people's sadness?
Finally, she checked my Instagram story and I feel so...
So basically this is a 6-minute long video of him being like, unfollow them off Instagram, pick up a new hobby. Like, that's basically it. But what's the real kicker about this video is that somebody had commented, what if the ex started seeing someone new? And his advice was, then perhaps the timing wasn't right. What? This is a terrible thing to tell someone who's trying to get over someone, like, the timing isn't right? What if the girl decides, okay, he said the timing isn't right, so I'm just gonna sit here and wait as long as I need until he finally likes me again, even though there's a high probability that he doesn't like me anymore. His most controversial video, though, is called 6 Behaviors That Scare Men Off.
Everyone has an authentic meter in them, and we can feel the authenticity meter in each other. So
The fuck are we, Iron Man right now?
as a man, we know that one of our roles is to provide.
Is it though? Like, is it really?
It's been that way for thousands of years, and whether or not you can provide equally as he can provide, it's hardwired in us, that ability to provide.
What?
Now, I know that I'm going to get blowback for this one. I know that some of you are not going to like this.
Here we go.
You don't believe that he can actually do it. That's emasculating behavior. It often shows up as you trying to help or step in because you actually know how to do the thing better, and you can show him how to do it more efficiently and with a better outcome. Men, we have this deep-wired need to provide. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth getting the job done faster? Is that benefit worth the disconnect that you create with emasculating behavior.
Can you imagine this mentality was carried into like professional settings where you actually have to do things properly? God damn, Jimmy's using the saw wrong, but I don't want to make him feel unattractive. And even though it's really dangerous the way that he's using that saw and he could hurt somebody or himself, I'll just let him figure it out his own way, because at the end of the day, if nothing goes wrong, then the wood's still cut.
She asked me, will you cut this onion? So I'm cutting this onion, and she comes over and she goes, honey, you're not cutting the onion the right way. You got to turn it like this and cut it like this. I would have gotten to the same outcome at the end of the day with that onion. Yes, I know she's better at cutting onions. Yes, I know she's a better cook. But what that communicates, even in the underlying way, is that she actually doesn't believe that I can do it, and that I actually didn't provide the job she wanted.
It also blows my mind that he seems to think this example was a good one to give, and that it would convince everyone that's watching this that would be annoyed he mentioned this as a behavior that scares men off, would convince them that he's right. Because why would you want to be with somebody who, if they're doing something wrong, in his case, cutting an onion wrong, and you go, hey, there's actually a better way to do that? Why would you want to be with somebody who is actually annoyed that you tried to help them? This is something you learn as a kid, that the more perspectives you have, the more people who are offering help, the better whatever you're working on can be. And it just blows my mind that he's sitting there being like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't make me feel good. And the fact that his excuse is, oh, men have provided for women for thousands of years and we're supposed to provide, it's like, why would you want to be with a guy whose confidence is so fragile that a woman, especially a woman that he's married to or has as a girlfriend, is offering just to help, and because she's a woman, that hurts her ego, versus if it was a guy, it wouldn't? Like, who would want to be with someone with that kind of mindset? I just cannot believe he's actually promoting this as a dating coach. It's trash, Your Honor. It's trash. As I mentioned before, there was quite a lot of controversy with this video, and the comments are full of women who are rightfully pissed off. One girl said, completely disagree with all that you've said. Women are not on earth to protect men's fragile masculinity. Also, men and women are allowed to disagree without the other feeling smaller. They just need to find healthy ways of communicating. And there's another one that says, there's no need for men to feel emasculated if they are able to see that the best results are made from working together. Your NR6, I think he means number 6, is asking women to pretend that they're less intelligent than men, and we are done with that. A man who needs women to step down so he can feel king needs to go within and do something about his insecurity. I agree. Now the final video we're going to be watching is 3 ways to build attraction on a date. Is way number 1 act stupid? Probably.
Number 1 is to choose a location that allows you to change venues.
Okay, so we'll start with the back of my van and then my basement. I'd actually like to offer some advice here. If you're going on a first date with anybody and you're not really sure how they're going to be, go to a park and go biking, because the best thing about biking is that if it ends up being a really shitty date, you can just bike away really fast.
Number 2 is create an activity-centered date.
See, a biking date is an activity date.
And go for a run with him.
Go on a run with him? That sounds like a terrible idea. Can you imagine you're about to go on a date with a guy and he suggests going on a jog? Like, okay, you just want to see me sweat for an hour? Like, this is what we're gonna do?
And number 3 is to create a fun date game. You can actually create a date rule. Here's how you bring it up. If he brings up your job or brings up the past, you can say, you know what, I want to challenge you to a date game.
This sounds like the lamest shit ever. Though I will say that him mentioning the date game thing did prompt this interesting comment that says, I love this date game idea. I've gone on since dates, and the guy has recently gotten divorced or is going through a divorce, and all they talk about is their ex. It's such a turn off for me. Specifically, if all they do is talk bad about that woman. I usually meet up with them for the first time, like a greet and meet. I tell them it's only for an hour. I do this to see if there is a connection or chemistry once we meet, because it's so easy over the phone and text. If you feel no connection, then we ended it, and it's not awkward. I'm just picturing this woman on a date with a guy like, okay, yeah, see you later. Well, that was definitely a very interesting subgenre of Instagram influencer, and honestly, I'm sad that I came across it, and I will try not to come across it ever again. I will say though, while this guy is pretty bad in my opinion, he is nowhere near as terrible as our boy Alan. We have to do this week's sweaty shout out. This week it goes to Amy_Cal21, and they sent this meme. Do or do not, there is no try. Boomer okay. He's just so cute. If you want to get a sweaty shout out for yourself, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, which makes you a sweaty, and then follow me on Instagram and DM me your favorite meme of the week on Instagram, and you might get chosen. If you guys did enjoy the video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good shit. You can also turn my post notifications on if you want to be notified every single time I upload, or you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want to follow me outside of YouTube, which are both Casey Aonso. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.